Now today on the show, guys, we're going to be looking at a lens that most photographers cannot live without in their toolkit. Now I'm talking about the 50mm lens, the nifty 50. 50mm lenses are really versatile for low light photography. They're really great because they're a fixed focal length, they're a prime lens. So it actually tests your ability as a photographer to actually move in and out of subjects or find different angles. So it really tests you in that way, instead of using a zoom lens where you're gonna have to zoom in and you get a bit lazy because you just sit here and you just, oh, I'll just zoom in on Charlie over there taking the photo of him. There's none of that. It really tests you as a photographer. Now, I really put it to you guys out there as photographers and even filmmakers and videographers to actually go out and get yourself a nice 50mm lens like the one we're about to review today, and actually shoot your projects and photograph your projects just on that fixed focal length, and see how, you know, the limitations of just that fixed focal length can actually make you really creative. I put it to you right now, guys. I put it to you to do that. Now, another thing with this lens is, you'll know, if there's some of you out there that are wanting to get those cool photographs where your subject is fully in focus, but everything around them is all creamy and bokeh and blurry, then this is the lens that you want to get. Now, today on the show, guys, we're going to be looking at the Sigma 50mm 1.4 DG HSM Art Series lens. Now this lens falls up into Sigma's Art Series range of lenses. Now they've gained a lot of reputation quite recently. I think the 35mm Art Series lens in this range came out not long ago and people were like raving about it, and the 50mm pretty much follows up on that and does the same. Now, to indicate that this is different to the 50mm that Sigma brought out on their standard range, this has got a nice like silver A stamped in the side of it, so you can know it's a part of the Art Series Sigma lenses. Now, straight up after unboxing the lens, you're going to find a nice black carry bag for it, which is really handy to protect it when you're not using it. The 50mm is very slick and sleek in its design and styling, and it also comes with a flower shape lens hood. Inside the lens, Sigma have used some hypersonic motor technology, which basically enables quick and quiet autofocusing. Now, the focus ring on this is actually quite slick and smooth if you're doing your manual focusing. The element on the front of the lens is nice looking. It has automatic focus and manual focus. And apparently the optics inside the lens consist of 13 elements in 8 groups. Now that might not mean much to you, but if we were to compare it to the previous 50mm Sigma that they've brought out, that only has 8 elements in 6 groups. Now, a lot of you may be reading on the internet that this lens is a lot heavier than it should be. I kind of found that when you're taking photographs with it, it actually gives you a nice stability and solidness to taking your photograph. And to me, I think it helps complement your photography, having that nice weight at the front. The lens featured in this review obviously sported a Canon mount, but it does come out in Nikon and Sony mounts. Some quick facts for you. The filter size is 77mm, the f-stops go from 1.4 to f16, and the minimum focusing distance is 40 centimeters, which is 1.3 feet for those of you who are into your feet. Now, it's safe to say the lens renders some great sharp images. Now take this photo here, for instance. We've got Matt and Ali, they're in focus, everything out in the background is out of focus. That's what I was talking about earlier. Now, it's been shot at like a f1.4. Now, if we do a 100% crop test on this, we go right in, we magnify in, we still see that we've got a lot of sharpness in the image there, which to me shows you how sharp the images are and how good this lens is. At f1.4, I did notice that there was some slight vignetting in the lens. As you can see on the corner of the edges, it's slightly dark. Now, if you take it to something like f2.8, as we can see here, the vignetting pretty much disappears. Bokeh on this lens is interesting. It's kind of like a good wine. Everyone's going to have their own opinions about what is the best and what isn't the best. Let's just say the bokeh produced on this lens is creamy and a little bit arty, but I'm going to leave that up to you guys to see. Have a look at these images for yourself and you decide. Besides from the bokeh, I took a couple images of this fountain here just to see how well this lens would fare at high shutter speeds. Now, to be fair on the lens, I did take it out at night. Yes, I did take it out to a nightclub and have a good time. No, only kidding. I set the camera up on a tripod, set the lens to about f4.5 and held it open for an exposure time of 10 seconds. As you can see, this is just available light that's there in the city. And, you know, it just goes to show what sort of quality of photograph you can take at such a long exposure with this lens. It's pretty cool. Overall, it's safe to say the design on this lens is pretty impressive, solid and slick looking. Here's a quick pro-con recap. The lens is extremely sharp, It's got great contrast. It's very high build and quality. It's got its classic all black styling. It's got a quick and accurate automatic focus, incredible image quality. The bokeh is quite creamy, and the weight is awesome. There's nothing wrong with the weight. It actually helps your photography. It complements it. It keeps it solid and stable. There's no weather sealing on the lens, which I find rather interesting. There's no image stabilization, which is not unusual for 50mm lenses. I don't think there's one 50mm lens on the market that has image stabilization because they're such an ultra fast lens. There's no need for it. At f1.4, there is some slight vignetting, but it's nothing to be alarmed about. I think it can add to your photographs. These sort of things can be corrected with changing your aperture, or obviously you can correct it in programs such as Lightroom or Photoshop. Now, if you've got any questions for us, guys, please head on over to the Leederville Camerahouse opposite the TAFE on Oxford Street. Our friendly staff are always happy to help with all your photography needs, answer any of your questions and so forth. Now, you can also get on the website, shoot us an email, or call us up on the phone. Look, my name's Lucas Scheffel. Thank you for watching Leederville Camerahouse TV this week. Remember, as always, keep shooting.